Hi friends, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to share my bedroom makeover, a long anticipated, at least for me, project that I have been meaning to start for years. When we first moved into this home, I didn't really have a solid plan for how I wanted our bedroom to look. And so I decided not to invest any money into the bedroom furniture or furnishings until I had a more clear idea. The one thing that I did invest in was a new rug because I wanted to protect our new floors that we had done before we moved in. I tried a few times to create a mood board for the bedroom. I wanted it to feel warm and cozy, and I thought the answer to that was to buy all new furniture that was in warm wood tones. And while I still think that would be amazing, I realized very quickly that if I went down that route, it would have meant replacing everything in our bedroom, which is just not realistic for us right now. So for this makeover, apart from the paint that I purchased back in April, I didn't end up buying anything new for this bedroom. And while I still have plans to change things up and make some small updates, I'm gonna do it intentionally and slowly, which means it might be months to a year before I make any more major changes to the bedroom. And so I thought it would be a good challenge to try to work with what we have and spend as little money as possible. I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I'm excited to share some of my learnings with you in this video. So like any painting project in our home, I started off with a primer that was tinted with the wall color that I had selected for the bedroom. I'm not sure when yellow entered into the realm of my consideration set, but once I got yellow in my head, I couldn't get it out. My hope with going with a yellow for our bedroom was that it would make the room feel warm and cozy all throughout the day, regardless of the time of day or the brightness level outside. I did go through quite a few yellow samples. That was the theme of 2022. I didn't want it to be too pastel, and I wanted it to be a mature yellow. And I will say, in trying to film my process of working on this room, it's pretty hard to capture accurately the color of yellow. Another constraint with this bedroom is that it is pretty small. In an ideal world, I would have emptied out our entire bedroom in order to make the painting process more efficient. It wouldn't have been possible to do that unless we disassembled the bed frame. So I had initially thought this painting project would take a couple of days, maybe 4 or 5, and it took almost 2 weeks. So basically I had to work around the existing furniture, which was mainly the bed. And so when I wanted to paint the wall behind the bed, I shifted the bed out of the way. And then when I was finished with that wall, I moved the bed back and was able to work on the wall on the opposite end. I painted the walls with a few coats of Farrow Ball's India Yellow in modern emulsion finish. I would describe it as like a yellow ochre or a mature yellow with some brown undertones. While I absolutely love the color, I was starting to get nervous while I was painting because I was finding that there were so many streaks, and I was hopeful that it would eventually reconcile itself when I painted a few more layers. But unfortunately, I went through almost an entire can of paint and found that it still dried pretty streaky. I called the paint store and asked for their advice. After they looked at my photos, they suggested that the room may have been a little too warm, so the paint was drying very quickly, and that maybe my roller didn't have enough paint on it. So a combination of having my paint layers being too light and the room being just a bit too warm might have been causing the paint to dry more quickly and not blend as easily. And so they invited me to come back into the store and try out some different supplies. So I've inserted a clip of me coming back from the paint store and trying to psych myself up for doing yet another coat on the walls. Okay, so after having the toughest time with streaks, I don't know if you can see them all over the walls, I went back to the paint store and they gave me a couple of new supplies to try. So I got a new paint, tray. I also happen to have this paint roller, and I didn't buy this, but I saw it in the store and they said this one was a good one, and I haven't actually ever used this one before, so I'm gonna give that a try. And they also recommended that I use this. So a 13 millimeter nap, orange label microfiber. So this is what I'm gonna use, and I'm gonna do one more coat. I had to get a new gallon of paint, which wasn't great, but I'm hoping that things like that are going to go away. So that is my hope. We'll see what happens. Hopefully this is the last day of painting the walls. It has been a much longer process than I thought it would be. So wish me luck. Even though it was a lot of work adding an additional layer onto the walls and tackling painting the ceiling of the bedroom, I am so glad that I took the time to do that, because while my walls are still not perfect, they are looking so much better than they did before, and I've learned a lot about taking the time to use the right materials and making me a better painter and a more confident home DIYer. So with the paint finally done, it was time to put the room back together. I think I mentioned this earlier, but in an ideal world, I would have gotten a new rug. And that is why I have chosen not to trim down the rug pad underneath, because I would like to keep the option open for having a larger rug that will cover more of our floors in the future. As a reminder, this is what the bedroom looked like before I started the painting. And after almost 2 weeks of painting and repainting the walls, this is how the bedroom turned out. I am so thrilled with how this bedroom turned out. It feels like the warm, cozy hug that I had originally envisioned for this bedroom. Sometimes I walk by it at night and it looks like the room is glowing, and the yellow is not too sweet, it's not too pastel, it is absolutely perfect. The one thing that I wanted to get rid of was the black frame bed, but after seeing it in context with the different colors of the bed sheets and the pillows and the colorful crochet blanket that I made, it doesn't bother me as much as I thought it would. So I no longer feel like I'm in a rush to change what we already have. It's a good reminder that you don't need to overhaul your entire room to refresh your space and fall in love with it again. So I'm really glad that I challenged myself to use things that I already had, and we love the space. Whether you're here for my desk stationery or home updates, I really appreciate you being here. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.